Gentlemen, behold. Today I want to talk about Elder Scrolls Online. This MMORPG was developed by ZeniMax Studios back in 2014, almost 10 years ago, if you played this game when it first came out. Now, if you played this game when it first came out, you're thinking, this is a pile of buggy garbage. Why are you even recommending this to me? Well, I'm happy to say this game is extremely polished up now, and it feels really, really good. Now, let's get this out of the way first. There is no crossplay. So all consoles play with their own. However, this game has one of the most unique systems, buy to play system instead of pay to play or subscription or just pay once. So all you have to do is buy the game, and once you buy the game, you make your account, and that's it. You don't have to pay anything monthly, but there is DLC. But there is DLC and microtransactions stored inside the game. So they are making a little bit extra through there. So going back to the crossplay thing, like I said, all consoles play with their own. So PC plays with PC, PS4 plays with PS4, and Xbox plays with Xbox. It's not on Switch, I don't think. So sorry, Switch guys. Now, when you get started with the game, it's gonna make you create your own character. Now, if you ever played an Elder Scrolls game before, then you probably already know what's going on. But if you haven't, then you pretty much pick from 9 different races. Now, you can't pick any race with any faction because they split up the races with factions. So there's three different races per faction, plus one race for every faction, but this is a race that you have to pay for, sadly. Now, once you create your character and pick your race, you have to pick a class. Now, normally you would pick when you pick your class in Elder Scrolls games, you specialize in skills. But in this game, they have changed it to where instead of specializing in skills, you get 3 different skill trees with abilities and like two-handed or maybe dual wielding, or if you want heavy, medium, and light armor, all have their own skill trees. And inside these skill trees, they all have their own little perks and abilities that you can put points in as you level up to unlock and build your character in your own unique way. And speaking of building your character in your own unique way, that's also a thing I like about this game is that classes are not locked to specific items, meaning that you can use any items you want as a class. So you can play a mage with heavy armor, two-handed sword, and I feel like that's a really great thing. I feel like that adds a lot of creativity and a lot of openness for making your class. One of the biggest drawbacks, but I say though, is that they only allow you 6 or 7 abilities per slot, which kind of limits you a lot, but annoys me. But I figured it out. It's not my first action MMO. As you know, I played DC Universe. If you watched that one, it's kind of a similar system if you played that game before, where you pick the abilities that you want, and these are your abilities. And I believe they do this so it's easier to balance it out. So characters can only have certain amounts. They can't have all the crazy shit. They do give you a second weapon set later in the game, which is nice, but I feel like they should just give you more moves or more abilities to do stuff with. So right out of the gate, once you finish creating your character, you can do the tutorial. Now, the tutorial has changed. It's not like it was before. You're in a different area. It's completely different. But one of the best changes I've seen about this game is that the way leveling works. So everything in the world actually scales with you. So now you can go wherever you want right out of the tutorial. And that gives you such a feeling of freedom that you can only find in these Elder Scrolls type games, because normally in MMORPGs you have to go to zone A 1 through 10, and then once you zone 10 you go to zone B, and zone B is 10 to 15, and then you hit 15 you go to zone C. But in this game, since everything scales with you, you can just start at zone A and go to zone C or go to zone G or whatever, just do whatever you want because the game scales with you. So there will be no over leveled creatures unless it's needed for a quest scenario or dungeon scenario. And speaking of scenarios, that also is one. Actually, hold on. I'll say this after I say this. One of the things I also like about this game is that the missions are all different. Now, most MMOs, it's usually just a fetch quest, but this one has a lot of unique and different quests that reward you in different ways. And one of the cool things about this game is that quests have different ending options that actually affect the world. Now, this is really cool, but it can also be annoying because if you play with friends, and I was playing with one of my friends at the time, we could not do certain quests together because we would make different choices. and because we made different choices, would be loaded up in different instances. So that was kind of annoying. But if you and your friends want to do like a hardcore group and do like role play, like okay, we all have to take this choice, okay, we all have to make this choice, then that's the only way it could work. And it's a bit tedious, but it adds some oomph, honestly, and it adds, that's kind of what you need. Other than that, the game's questing is very basic. Just go talk to that, you start this, or there'll be some guy or some person in the street saying, "Hey, my foot hurts. Can you come and check this out?" And then you'll end up doing this crazy ass quest line for like 14 hours where you fucking save the goblins from the fucking bad man or some shit like that. Like it is really cool. They have a lot of cool unique quests. I don't want to say anything because I'll let you guys explore that and find your own ways and find the cool shit in the world. Now the PvP in this game is crazy. The PvP in this game. So one of the things about this game is it has voice chat. So that itself is nuts. But why I bring this up now is because when you run around towns, especially like the big cities, yeah, so it can get very, very heated at certain times, especially when you walk by major cities. You'll see like dudes just arguing over things, and it's pretty funny. So I always recommend don't keep your game chat on. It'll be fun to see what kind of characters you run. And now the main battle PvP is in Cyrodiil. So Cyrodiil is pretty cool. So Cyrodiil is like a battle area, and three factions control certain areas of the map, and you guys have to fight over different zones, and it's pretty much a tug of war between all three factions. Me and my friend, I don't know if I have a clip. I'll try to edit it here if I have it somewhere. We ended up jumping this mage, and this mage just turns around and completely destroys us after we worked so hard to ambush him. And that's when we realized our gear was trash. So if you're one of those guys who like gear in PvP, this is one of the games for you. So Elder Scrolls Online at this moment is probably at its best, with the developers only adding more content. I believe they just added the Golden Road DLC while I'm making this video, so it's that's pretty cool. And this game has been going on for almost, I believe they said it came out in 2013, so almost 10 years worth of content to just have fun and mess around. And like I said, if you're a fan of the Elder Scrolls series, this is a hands down, like you should have been playing this. And if you're not, maybe give it a try. Maybe it'll be the one that gets you into the series.
Survive the ritual. How can you stand against our storms?
Hey. You still here? Cool bro, you know this guy's pretty sick, right? LOL. Yeah, this just an Easter egg for you for watching the clip. Thanks, big smile.